am fully convinced that the moment you cross the threshold of $10 million in your bank account, they just send you an invite to a secret society where the only requirement is to completely detach from reality.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A little velvet envelope arrives in the mail, and suddenly you're like, yes, I do need a climate-controlled room exclusively for my winter coats.
Literally! Like, Snark Squad unite, babes assemble. Welcome back, you beautiful babes, to the messiest corner of the internet.
We are so happy to have you here. And you already know we've got the bevies on deck.
Oh, we definitely do. Tonight's drink for the Snark Squad, it is the frozen peach Bellini.
The ladies, baby.
Bellinis. Cheers, babe.
Cheers. And babes, let me just tell you, it is absolutely freaking delicious.
It really is. There's something about a peach Bellini that just instantly makes me feel rich.
Right. It's like I take one sip, and I'm suddenly convinced I own a yacht.
Completely. And making it frozen, the frozen drinks just hit differently. I don't know the science behind it.
It's the resort aesthetic. It's giving poolside cabana boy. I mean, 2 sips in, and I am literally planning imaginary luxury vacations that I absolutely cannot afford.
Oh, same. I was just looking up flights to Monaco this morning. For what reason? None. I am a dentist. I have a root canal scheduled at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Exactly. We're dentists. We do not have Monaco money. We do not have yacht money.
Speaking of things we absolutely do not have money for, we need to give a huge shout out to our girls, Alyssa and Tasha, for sliding into our DMs and asking us to cover this show.
Yes. Babes, you know the drill. You ask and you shall receive. We live to serve the Snark Squad.
We really do. But okay, babes, before we get into the actual meat of the drama, we need to talk about the Hamptons.
Oh my God. Yes, I am spiraling.
Because how are places like this real? Like, you and I were watching that HGTV-style home show yesterday, and we saw this Hamptons mansion that completely broke my brain.
It broke both of our brains. I've not stopped thinking about it.
10,000 square feet.
All-to-wall windows,
Right.
which, by the way, who is cleaning those?
The staff, they have a staff of like 12 people just for the windows. And the pools, big, there were multiple pools, and one of them was bigger than the community center pool I grew up swimming in.
It's just offensive at a certain point. And the kitchen was larger than our entire dental practice.
Literally, it had an island and then a second island just for washing vegetables.
A vegetable island. I can't. Who actually lives there? What jobs do these people even have?
That is what I want to know. Because like we said, it's definitely not dentist money.
I was literally sitting there trying to calculate how many root canals I would have to do to equal one Hamptons mansion.
What was the math?
I stopped counting because I got depressed.
Tisn't
Like, I would have to drill teeth for 300 years without taking a lunch break.
Honestly, babes, it's always just wild when you meet someone who is rich, like generational wealth rich.
Oh, you mean like your friend Sarah from Toronto?
Yes, Sarah from Toronto. And no shade, we love her. We absolutely love her.
Love her to pieces. But babes, she grew up in a completely different financial universe.
An entirely different stratosphere. I will never forget the first time I realized she had serious money. We were in college, right? And she was complaining that she couldn't go home for the weekend because her dad took the jet.
The jet. Just casually dropping the jet in a sentence about going home for the weekend.
And I was like, wait, you mean like a private jet? And she looked at me like I was the weird one. She's like, yeah, how else do you get to Aspen?
I am sweating just thinking about it. The things rich people think are normal will never not fascinate me. Like, remember when she bought a $600 candle because she said the air in her apartment felt poor?
I think about that candle at least once a week. But it just makes me wonder, if you suddenly became rich, what's the first absolutely ridiculous thing you'd buy?
Oh, that's easy. I would hire a personal assistant whose only job is to walk in front of me and compliment me softly while I run errands.
Wait, I love that. A professional hype man.
Yes, just whispering, you know, your hair looks amazing, that cardigan is stunning, while I buy toilet paper at Target. What about you?
Honestly, a Hamptons house with a vegetable washing island. And I don't even cook. I just want to stand at the island and look out my massive windows.
The delusion is so real, and I support it.
Thank you. But okay, babes, enough spiraling about our imaginary wealth because we need to get into the actual recap. We are diving into the Season 2 premiere of OWN's reality docuseries, Heart and Hustle. Houston.
And let me tell you, we watched this, and we are absolutely spiraling. The mess is unparalleled.
It is the golden age of reality TV, babes. And we were looking at this through the lens of all these sources. We read the incredibly sanitized official press releases. We watched the premiere previews.
But more importantly, we devoured the YouTube recaps from creators like Mesma Shimo and Methanosto.
Shout out to the real journalists out there.
Truly, because they expose what actually happens on screen, completely stripping away the PR spin.
Right, because you know that feeling when a group of friends looks absolutely perfect on Instagram. They have the coordinated outfits, the sisterhood hashtags, but you just know the group chat is in shambles.
Oh, they're definitely muting each other.
Exactly. And that is the central conflict of Season 2. The whiplash from Season 1 to Season 2 is enough to put you in a neck brace.
It really is. Because remember how Season 1 ended? It was this utopian kumbaya vineyard trip.
They were literally giving each other flowers. They were crying about sisterhood and uplifting Black women.
And then the cameras stop rolling.
Yeah.
And the second they go on break, the entire thing implodes. The energy gets weird, and the cast is now severely divided.
It's insane. But why does this happen? Like, every single reality show, the off-season destroys the friendships.
Well, it's because of the audience feedback loop. When you film, you're in a bubble. But then the show airs, and suddenly you are watching your best friend sit in a confessional chair and completely read you for filth.
And you're seeing all the tweets and the YouTube comments validating it.
Exactly. You have the commentators breaking down your every move. It's parasocial interference. It completely shatters whatever fake bond you made over a glass of Pinot Grigio.
Which perfectly brings us to Latoria, because Latoria is a PR powerhouse. She runs a successful agency, and she looks at this massive rift in the group and thinks, I know how to fix this. I'm going to organize a group therapy session.
Which is just the worst idea in the history of reality television.
It is so bad. The official synopsis calls it a search for healing and growth. But we all know an on-camera therapy session is basically a corporate HR mediation that instantly turns into a bar brawl.
Oh, it is a cage match.
Yeah.
You don't bring a fractured reality TV cast to therapy to heal.
Yeah.
You bring them there to secure your spot for next season.
Literally. And Latoria's therapy session backfires spectacularly, mostly because of LeBrina.
LeBrina, the supposed caretaker of the group.
Yes, LeBrina, who owns this elite spa and claims she just wants peace. But what does she do in the therapy session? She gets incredibly hostile, cusses out the entire room, drops an F all y'all, and just walks out.
It's wild. And the core of the argument they are trying to fix goes back to this insane comment LeBrina made at the Vineyard in Season 1, where she told the women they weren't on her level.
Oh my God. The backpedaling she tried to do in that therapy room, she looks at the therapist and goes, actually, when I said they weren't on my level, I meant my level of peace.
I screamed. I literally screamed at my TV because the editors, God bless them, immediately roll the flashback tape.
Reality TV editors are the pettiest people on earth. I love them for it. They roll the tape, and you hear LeBrina explicitly saying that hanging out with these women would be a waste of my time.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like protecting your peace, LeBrina. That sounds like a hierarchical dismissal. She's basically saying she is too rich and too busy to breathe the same air as them.
This drives me absolutely crazy, because isn't protecting my peace just the ultimate modern loophole for being a terrible person?
It is the weaponization of therapy speak. 100%.
You can act as arrogant as you want, but if you slap setting boundaries onto it, suddenly you're immune to criticism.
You are shifting from the aggressor to the victim. It's brilliant, but it's toxic. And the illusion of her being this peaceful, enlightened caretaker completely shatters when we talk about the body-shaming incident.
Oh, this was so dark. We have to talk about it. So Latoria is hosting this Women Making History dinner, right? It's philanthropic. It's about uplifting women. She is honoring a friend of hers.
A beautiful, plus-sized woman.
Yes. And LeBrina allegedly looks at this woman and calls her precious.
Which, let's be extremely clear, is a severe, targeted insult. As the YouTube commentators rightfully pointed out, in the Black community, referencing that highly traumatized character from the 2009 movie is never a compliment.
Never. It is a vicious degradation. It is meant to strip someone of their dignity.
And it completely invalidates LeBrina's entire brand. You cannot run an elite wellness spa, claim to be a caretaker, and then maliciously body shame a guest of honor at a charity dinner.
You just can't. It proves her disengagement from the group isn't about her energy. It's just a lack of respect. Which bleeds right into our first segment, rich energy or good marketing.
Ooh, let's get into it. because we need to discuss who is actually successful and who is just selling a lifestyle.
I am looking right at LeBrina for this one, because this feud continues into Latoria's massive Renaissance-themed dinner.
Let's set the stage for this dinner because Latoria is going through it. She is deeply grieving the loss of her father, but she is pushing through, throwing this high glamour, silver dress, red lip Beyonce-inspired event.
It's gorgeous. Chloe shows up early, looking flawless. Rose shows up debuting her 10.0 era.
The blonde hair, the cosmetic tweaks. She looked good.
She looked amazing, but then you have the glaring absences. LeBrina and Munira intentionally skip this highly publicized event. And where are they?
Oh, this is my favorite part. They are sitting outside in the dirt at Munira's house, barefoot, grounding themselves and drinking tea.
The absolute audacity. Your friend is mourning her father, she is hosting a beautiful event, and you skip it to stand in the mud.
And Munira claims she is the neutral Switzerland of the group. She claims she isn't taking sides.
How are you not taking sides when you deliberately skip the party to host the main villain at your house during the exact hours of the event? If you are neutral, you drop off a gift, you eat a crab cake, and you go home.
Exactly. By offering LeBrina a safe harbor, Munira is validating LeBrina's victimhood. It's a definitive declaration of loyalty.
But let's look at what LeBrina is actually doing while they are grounding. Is she reflecting? Is she apologizing for calling someone precious?
No. She is rattling off a list of her entrepreneurial flexes.
She is just listing assets. She's like, me and my husband Will are expanding Elite Spa, and we're building a Pilates studio and a juice bar. Oh, and we're buying land to adopt horses.
Adopting horses, which it goes back to rich energy or good marketing. It feels like she's throwing out all these buzzwords, Pilates, horses, spas, to distract from the fact that she is a terrible friend.
It's a deflection tactic. It's like, I can't be a bad person. Look at my expanding portfolio. I'm too busy zoning my juice bar to care about your feelings.
It's classic rich person behavior.
Yeah.
Use productivity as a shield against emotional accountability.
Speaking of lacking emotional accountability, we have to pivot to the romantic chaos. Latoria is out here grieving, trying to hold her friends together, and she somehow gets dragged into Chloe and Jordan's absolutely baffling relationship.
If the friendships were messy, this relationship is fundamentally delusional.
Let's look at the stats. Chloe is an established boss event planner in her 40s. She owns a home. She has a career. Jordan is a 28-year-old boy.
The maturity gap is massive, and the power imbalance is insane.
And the inciting incident here is that Chloe recently found undeniable receipts, literal DMs proving that Jordan cheated on her early on. He literally had another woman in his house.
But despite holding the digital proof, Jordan still has the gate and door code to Chloe's house.
I lose my mind every time I think about this. I genuinely need to challenge this logic. Why would you allow a man who shattered your trust to have 247 access to your physical sanctuary?
It makes no sense.
It's like catching a burglar stealing your TV, and instead of changing the locks, you hand him the code to your safe.
It is exactly like that. But psychologically, Chloe leaving the code active means she hasn't finalized the boundary. She wants to keep him tethered so she can monitor him.
Because she views him as a project. She says she's teaching him how to love, which is so embarrassing for a woman in her 40s to say about a 28-year-old man.
It really is.
Yeah.
She thinks she can mold him. But her retaliation strategy is what truly sends me into orbit.
Oh my God, the group chat.
Yes. She takes the cheating receipts and drops them into Jordan's family group chat. She sends the proof to his mother and his brother.
I am astounded. If you are going to stay with the man, which you are because he has the door code, why are you airing his dirty laundry to your future mother-in-law?
She thought she could recruit the mom to scold him into being faithful. But families don't work like that. They will close ranks to protect their son from public embarrassment.
You just make yourself look chaotic and desperate. You don't embarrass a grown man into being a good husband by tattling to his mommy.
Exactly. And speaking of a husband, let's talk about Jordan's absolutely unhinged 6 a.m. meeting with Latoria.
The time alone is a crime. You ask a grieving, busy woman to meet you at dawn on a Sunday.
And he drops a bombshell. He says he plans to propose to Chloe in 60 days.
Which ties perfectly into our third segment, delusional luxury purchases. Because this man's proposal plan is the definition of delusional.
They are barely speaking. She just nuked him in his family group chat. And his solution is to buy a ring.
It's the apology proposal. Men think a diamond is a magical eraser for infidelity.
It's so immature. He views the engagement as a spectacle to shut her up, not a commitment. He even says, she backs me as a man.
Which means she pays for dinner, let's be real. But the kicker, The absolute cherry on top of this delusional sundae is when Latoria asks about logistics. And Jordan casually admits he's waiting 60 days because he needs to get his funds in order.
He's planning to propose on layaway.
He doesn't even have the money for his own apology. He is trying to leverage a hypothetical financial state to fix a current moral failure.
And Latoria just has to sit there and listen to this. It's wild. But you know what? If Chloe and Jordan are the messy beginning, we have to talk about the financially ruinous end of a relationship.
We have to talk about Elena and Josh. This is the darkest, most compelling storyline by far.
It really is. Elena is the CEO of Color du Jour. She built this beauty empire. She's a boss. She's been married to Josh, her high school sweetheart, for 15 years. They have kids. They were the image of Black excellence.
But the revelation is that in 2020, behind her back, Josh secretly took family and business funds and completely lost it all.
Lost it all on day trading and gambling.
He day traded her beauty empire away. The betrayal is just, I can't even fathom it.
And to make it worse, Josh decides he needs to clear his name on camera. So who does he meet up with to spin his narrative?
LeBrina and her husband, Will, which is a massive violation of girl code.
Huge violation.
Because a few months prior, Elena was crying on LeBrina's doorstep about this exact financial ruin. And now LeBrina is inviting the ex-husband over to validate his victimhood.
It's a calculated chess move. LeBrina claims she's protecting her peace, but she is actively isolating Elena by aligning with the enemy. It's ruthless reality TV strategy.
And Josh puts on a masterclass in playing the victim. He says his feelings were never valid. He claims Elena made him feel small. And then he drops a line that made me want to throw my frozen Bellini at the TV.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
He claims he built 75% of Elena's business.
The absolute unmitigated gall. The fragility of the male ego in a female-led empire is astounding.
It makes my blood boil. Because he admits he gambled the money because he felt inadequate not being the breadwinner.
Right, he was chasing this high-risk, masculine-coded payout to prove he was the man of a house.
Even though the house was paid for by her makeup brand, and when he catastrophically fails instead of apologizing, he demands 75% of the credit. He says he did everything, quote, except put a brush to a face.
Which is so offensive.
It's insane. Putting the brush to the face is the entire brand. That is the talent. That is what people pay for. You can manage all the spreadsheets you want, Josh, but without her artistry, you are just a man with a calculator.
Say it louder for the people in the back. He is trying to reduce her visionary artistry to manual labor. And when LeBrina doesn't push back, he feels emboldened to start a smear campaign.
The classic narcissist playbook. He implies that Elena cheated too. He says, I'm not the only one who did messed up stuff.
It's just muddying the waters. He wants to create a false equivalence so people stop focusing on his massive financial betrayal.
It's so manipulative. Which brings us to our second segment, who gets our last dollar? Because if I have $1 left to my name, I am giving it to Elena.
Oh, without a doubt. The way she handled this with raw honesty was incredible. She didn't just play the victim. She admitted she tried to hide the truth to protect that Black family image.
The cultural burden on her must have been suffocating. She read him letters, she dragged him to therapy, she thought her marriage failing meant her brand failing.
But seeing her transition in season 2 is beautiful. She is cutting the dead weight. She is stepping into her Paris era.
It's a rebirth. When you finally stop funding your own destruction, the glow-up is real.
And honestly, it really ties everything together.
Yeah.
When you look at Latoria's fractured friendships, Chloe's delusional romance, and Elena's financial devastation, there is a unified theme.
Which leads us right into our final thought. But before we get there, we have to hit segment 4, Hampton's dream life. Because after watching these women navigate all this stress while running empires, I just want to escape.
Oh, totally. If we are building our Hampton's dream life right now, what is the vibe?
Okay, I want the 10,000 square feet, obviously, but I want a completely drama-free zone. Nobody gets the door code.
Nobody, not even me.
Okay, you get the door code, but if you start day trading my beauty empire, I am changing it immediately.
Fair enough. I just want the vegetable island and the staff of 12. That is my peace. Real peace. Not LeBrina's version of peace.
Exactly. Real peace. Which honestly brings us to the core takeaway of this entire deep dive. The contrast between public success and private turmoil is stark.
You can have brilliant business acumen. You can run elite spas or award-winning PR firms. But that does not protect you from making terrible, bankrupting investments in your personal relationships.
So true. The balance sheet of your professional life can be flawlessly in the black, while your personal life is catastrophically in the red.
And that is the provocative thought we want to leave you with today. Think about your own life as a corporate balance sheet.
We are all so focused on building our brands and leveling up. But how often do we actually audit the people we let into our lives?
If you ran an objective audit today, stripping away the Instagram filters and the history, who is bringing a return on investment? And who is secretly day trading away your emotional capital?
How many of your friendships are just toxic assets hiding behind a door code you refuse to change?
It's a tough question, but ignoring the audit just leads to bankruptcy.
Wow. Honestly, chills. What an episode, babes. Thank you so much to the Snark Squad for hanging out with us today.
We love you guys. And before we go, we need to hear from you in the comments.
Yes. Answer these 4 questions for us. 1, what would you buy if you suddenly became rich?
2, would you rather live in a Hamptons mansion or a penthouse?
3, what luxury item do you secretly want but won't admit to anyone?
And 4, who are you rooting for on this season of Heart and Hustle?
Let us know. And do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast with your messiest bestie.
Keep asking the hard questions, babe.
Stay messy, stay delusional, and we will see you on the Snark side.